Hello, hockey fans. Austin here with today's video. The day after discussion of the Oilers' 4-2 victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, this day after discussion is not the traditional day after that I usually do, where I have very specific talking points and I break the video up and it's like 30 to 40 minutes long. This video today is mostly going over a lot of the numbers from the game last night and talking about a couple of historic moments, couple of records that Oilers players have set and that the team has set. When I was doing research for the video, I was like, you know what? I should focus on some specific players who are doing something that we have not seen since the 1980s, and even before that, actually, if we're talking about Bouchard, comparing him to Bobby Orr. Now, how the heck are we comparing Evan Bouchard to the best defenseman to ever play the game? Well, I will explain that in a moment. So if you end up enjoying today's video, make sure to hit that like button and also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed, as I continue to provide daily content here during the Stanley Cup playoffs. And boy, oh boy, we sure would like the Oilers to get a lead and not have to come back every single game. But in saying that, the Oilers did set an NHL record last night for comeback wins. They have won 5 straight games where they have trailed at some point in a game. Yes, all 5 of Edmonton's wins in the playoffs have come where they have trailed at some point during the game. That is a record that I'm happy that the Oilers have, but I'm not happy because that means the team is playing from behind a lot. It would be very nice if Edmonton could just get a lead, hang on to it, win. Why can't we just win comfortably, right? Why not get a lead early, maybe go up 3-0, head into the third period, and then close it out, let's say 4-1 or something, and just feel good the whole game instead of having our heart rate elevated to 140 the entire night. This team, man, I swear, the cardiac arrest kids is what I'm calling them, because that's what they're going to do to me. That is what they're going to do to me, although we can't call this team kids. There's a lot of veterans on this team. Now, before I get into some of the specific players, I did want to go over some of just the base stats from the game last night, time on ice, points. If we break the points down, again, the Oilers' depth has shown up. You had Draisaitl with a goal and an assist. You had McDavid with 2 assists. And that's pretty impressive because I actually thought they had a pretty quiet night, and the fact that they were still able to get 2 points each. If you're Vegas, you're probably thinking, uh-oh, at some point they are probably going to explode, and the Oilers are looking for Draisaitl and McDavid. I know they are producing a lot right now, but it doesn't feel like they're producing the way they should be, if that makes sense. It might sound selfish of me to talk like that as an Oilers fan, but we are used to them doing a little bit more. But I will say the depth scoring that has shown up for Edmonton, all 4 lines being able to get rolled by Chris Knoblauch, has been a breath of fresh air. Zach Hyman had a goal last night, the game winner. Connor Brown, his 4th goal of the playoffs, a beautiful goal on the breakaway. I couldn't tell if that was Connor Brown or Mario Lemieux with that move at the red line to break free from Shea Theodore to go in on the breakaway. Unbelievable goal for Connor Brown. And of course, the ageless wonder, Corey Perry, who just he's found the fountain of youth this season. He had 19 goals in the regular season. He already has 3 goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is a player that has done so much more than I could have ever hoped or imagined for heading into the season, and you love to see it. Evander Kane, he had an assist on the game winner. It was a primary assist, and Evander Kane's advanced metrics too. His underlying metrics have been phenomenal. What Evander Kane is doing, his ability to come in, he's laying the body, he's blocking shots, he's shooting the puck, and he is contributing meaningfully on the score sheet. And he didn't take a dumb penalty last night. That is also a big plus. Nugent Hopkins also had an assist. He is having a quiet playoffs in terms of his production, but that is a good thing. Like, I don't mean quiet like he's not producing. He is quietly producing is what I'm trying to say, in a positive way where you're not noticing him very negatively, and he does find himself on the score sheet more often than not. And then the rest of the group, Henrique was a plus. Trent Frederick, he hit a goal post. He had a partial breakaway. Trent Frederick has been doing a lot of good things as well. Vasily Podkolzin last night only played 7:47. Kind of disappointed in the ice time utilization for Vasily Podkolzin because I thought him and Arvidsson looked really, really good. But obviously, third period, Chris Knoblauch, he shortened the bench a little bit. He's trying to get a little bit more offense, but I hope he trusts Podkolzin and Arvidsson moving forward. I thought they had their 2 best games of the playoffs. Neither of them got any points, but Podkolzin threw 5 hits in 7:47 of ice time. And then if we take a look at the defense stats, Evan Bouchard, he was a +3 with 2 assists. Darnell Nurse, a +2 rating. Jake Wallman, a +1 rating. Now, John Klingberg, he's not getting credit for any assist, but his breakout plays, his ability to move the puck up the ice was instrumental in 2 goals for Edmonton last night. He had a phenomenal game, in my opinion. And yes, he has his moments where he looks a little shaky. He fell at one point for no reason, almost gave up a breakaway because of it, but he was able to recover. John Klingberg's play right now cannot be understated, just how important this player has become for Edmonton's blue line. And same with Jake Wallman. Remember when we were all freaking out about Jake Wallman after game 1 against the LA Kings? I was the one freaking out. I was very upset at Jake Wallman's play, but he has settled into his role. He's settled into the playoffs, the grind of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and he has been great. And Calvin Pickard, of course, 2 goals against on 17 shots, 882 save percentage, but he did not give up a goal after the first period. And actually, his save percentage in the third period of the playoffs so far is a 952. Calvin Pickard knows how to lock things down. He does not give up that next goal, and he allows the Oilers to come back and find their groove. If you take a look at the rest of the stats, I'll just quickly show it on the screen here. Shots on goal, face-off percentage. Power play, would have liked to see the Oilers bang one in there, but you know what? Hopefully, as the series progresses, they're able to get one. Hits, Vegas did out-hit Edmonton, which makes sense. Edmonton had the puck for basically the entire game after the 10-minute mark of the first period. Block shots were pretty even. Giveaways, the Oilers had a lot, and that adds up. That first period and a half or so, it felt like every pass attempt was being picked off by the Golden Knights, but it was a great effort by the Oilers. So, what are we discussing today? Well, on the bottom of the screen, some of the advanced stats from the game. The Oilers won 4-2. They controlled 73% of the expected goals percentage in this game. They controlled 81% of the high danger chances, 57% of the shot attempts at 5-on-5, that Corsi 4 percentage, and 71% of the scoring chances in the entire game. Edmonton completely dominated at 5-on-5. This game likely shouldn't have been close. Adin Hill kept the game close for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, the numbers. What are we talking about here? We have 2 5-on-5 shots against in 40 minutes. Yes, the Edmonton Oilers only gave up 2 total shots at 5-on-5 against in 40 minutes of play. That is unbelievable. The Vegas Golden Knights had 7 shots after the first period, only 2 of them at 5-on-5. The other shots came from their power play, and I think they had 1 or 2 with the net pulled. I cannot remember, but only 2 5-on-5 shots against in 40 minutes of action. The Edmonton Oilers played a absolutely perfect defensive style to slow down the Vegas Golden Knights and prevent any kind of rush opportunity that prevented the power play from getting a goal late in the game. Calvin Pickard, huge save on Thomas Hertl. And for Edmonton, if they're able to sustain this, right? If they're able to sustain that type of shot suppression, and we have seen their ability to suppress shots before, especially against the Golden Knights. There were a couple games in the regular season where Edmonton did a great job suppressing shots against. They did it again last night, and the Vegas Golden Knights looked very, very frustrated. Bruce Cassidy, after the game, he obviously gave the Oilers their flowers, but he acknowledged that his team just wasn't as good as they needed to be. He acknowledged that Edmonton was the better team, which is a good thing to see. A coach that understands that, sometimes the other team is better. Jim Hiller could probably take some lessons from a Stanley Cup champion head coach like Bruce Cassidy. Sorry, I'm just going to be throwing shots at Jim Hiller any chance I get now. Sorry, Kings fans. I know you're probably already hating that and you don't want me to bring him up. But anyways, it's all in good fun, I promise. Edmonton's shot suppression, phenomenal last night. And all the stats reflected as well, the advanced stats, the regular stats. If Edmonton finds a way to continue that type of suppression. Now, obviously, 2 shots against in 40 minutes at 5-on-5, that's not sustainable. We know Vegas is going to come out very, very hard in Game 2, and we know as the series progresses, it is a grind, but the Oilers did their job at least stealing 1 game away from Rogers Place. Let's see if they can find a way to steal a second game. And the second stat to talk about, 5 straight comeback wins. Yes, the Oilers have come back in 5 straight games to get wins in the playoffs. That is an NHL record. No team has ever done that in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And obviously, I'm very happy. I love that this team is just never out of a game. And maybe that is by design. Maybe there's some 4D chess going on with Chris Knobloch and the team where they let the opponent just get into a comfortable position with the lead, and then they just turn it on, flip that switch, and just go and catches the opponent off guard. I actually don't think that that's even possible in today's NHL, but for some reason, the Oilers seem to find a way. They always find a way. Don't know how. They did it a lot in the regular season as well, where they fell behind and they would come back and win. They are a team that understands adversity. They're a team that understands how to get those wins in the playoffs. And to do it 5 straight times is pretty crazy. But please, they have to get a lead. I want this team to get the lead. Play with the lead. It is so much easier to play with the lead than playing from behind. The amount of energy you're expending when you're playing from behind, it's not good long term. It's obviously good for Edmonton, apparently. I don't know. The Oilers just, they don't make any sense to me in how they approach games. The fact that this team can do what they're doing on a regular basis is outrageous. But hopefully moving forward, they can just find a way to get the lead first for once. Now, the next number we're going to talk about, Evan Bouchard. Now, here's the Bobby Orr comparison. For those of you who love Bobby Orr, obviously I'm not saying Bouchard is better than Bobby Orr, but we're seeing a defenseman do something that we have not seen since Bobby Orr. So Evan Bouchard last night became the second fastest defenseman to 50 playoff assists. He did it in 60 games played. Bobby Orr had the previous record, or still has the record, at 59 games played. Yes, the game was much different in the 60s when Bobby Orr played, in early 70s. However, what Evan Bouchard is doing in modern day NHL in the playoffs, at 5-on-5 on the power play, Evan Bouchard, for all of his warts when it comes to the defensive side of the game, this is a special player. He is going to get paid, whether we like it or not in oil country, whether we think he deserves the money that he's going to be asking for. The stats don't lie. And at the end of the day, his agent, he's going to point out the stats, and management for Edmonton is going to have no choice but to open up that checkbook. Daryl Katz, he's going to open up the checkbook, and Evan Bouchard's going to be getting $10+ million per year on his next contract. I guarantee it, and he's going to deserve it. He deserves it. We're watching a very special player here. He's doing something that no defenseman has done since Bobby Orr. Just think about that for a second. Think about when Bobby Orr was playing in his prime. And think about Evan Bouchard today. Unbelievable. We have not seen something like this in 60, 50, 70 years or so. It is crazy to even think about. Evan Bouchard is a special player. This team wins hockey games because of Bouchard. Sometimes they lose games because of Bouchard, but they win more games than they lose. He contributes positively more often than he does not. He is instrumental in this team's success. And what Bouchard is doing right now is incredible. We have to give Bouchard his flowers here. That is unbelievable that he has produced the way that he has for Edmonton. And obviously, if he keeps producing like this moving forward, the team's in a good spot. They're going to keep finding ways to win, and they're going to have a nice, long playoff run this spring. Now, next number we're going to talk about, Connor McDavid. Yes, McDavid became the second fastest to 90 playoff assists in 81 games played. He's over an assist per game in the postseason in his career, and that's pretty incredible as well. Wayne Gretzky, he has the record. I think he did it in 67 games played. Mario Lemieux, he did it in about 90 or so games played. So McDavid, he's right between Gretzky and Mario Lemieux, and that's kind of where he seems to be for most stats and most facts that come out when he sets different records. Connor McDavid, obviously, generational talent. What we're seeing from him and Draisaitl is something that we have not been seeing since the 1980s, when there were guys like Gretzky, Lemieux, Curry, Coffey, all of these incredible stars in the 80s for Edmonton, for Pittsburgh, for different teams. It's incredible. What we get to witness every day with Connor McDavid is truly special, and I never take it for granted, and I couldn't be happier for Connor McDavid. Would I like to see him shoot the puck more and maybe score a few more goals? Absolutely. He had a good shot last night that Adin Hill stopped with his glove, but the other Connor who seems to be a bit better than Connor McDavid right now, Connor Brown, was able to score on that glove side. So what's your excuse, McDavid? Let's find a way to get one past Adin Hill's glove, all right, my man? And then last stat that we're going to talk about, and then we'll wrap things up here, is the Oilers have outscored their opposition 17-6 in the third period in the playoffs. Yes, the Oilers have scored 17 third period goals. They've only given up 6. Calvin Pickard has only given up 2 of those goals. One in relief of Stuart Skinner in Game 2 versus the Kings, which was very unfair. Don't really blame him for that one. And then a goal against in Game 6 versus LA. But other than that, Game 3, Game 4, Game 5 against the Kings, Calvin Pickard did not give up a single goal in the third period. And Game 1 against Vegas has not given up a goal in the third period. You love to see it. Obviously, the Oilers find ways to get better as the game progresses. They make those adjustments during the intermission. The players lock things down. The Oilers are a team on a mission right now. You can tell their entire vibe, their entire aura is plus 10 million, 1000. What the hell am I talking about? Listen, it was a long night. We were up late. Long sleep. This upload is obviously a little bit later than I would have liked as well. So thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, if you kind of liked the stats and facts more than the day after discussion, please let me know your thoughts. I can do more videos like this. Obviously, I will still be doing day after discussions, but there were so many different facts, so many different numbers that I wanted to bring up, NHL records, things that we haven't seen in a very, very long time, generational stuff here. Just incredible what we're seeing in my lifetime. This is just truly special. The Oilers are a special team, but I'd like them to be a little bit more special and maybe get the lead just for once. Anyways, that is it for me. I will see y'all in the next one. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe, share, and tell all your friends if you think they may enjoy the content. Share it all over social media, whatever it is y'all are on these days. And as always, tell someone you love them. And of course, as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. I'll see you tomorrow morning for pregame before Game 2. And then I'll see you tomorrow night for the live stream commentary during Game 2. Cannot wait, Oil Country. Take care. We'll see you soon.